120. Even a good man sees evil days, as long as his good deed has not ripened, but when his good deed has ripened, then does the good man see happy days. 121. Let no man think lightly of evil, saying in his heart, it will not come nigh unto me. Even by the falling of water drops a waterpot is filled, the fool becomes full of evil, even if he gather it little by little. 122. Let no man think lightly of good, saying in his heart, it will not come nigh unto me. Even by the falling of water drops a waterpot is filled, the wise man becomes full of good, even if he gather it little by little. 123. Let a man avoid evil deeds, as a merchant, if he has few companions and carries much wealth, avoids a dangerous road, as a man who loves life avoids poison. 124. He who has no wound on his hand, may touch poison with his hand. Poison does not affect one who has no wound, nor is there evil for one who does not commit evil. 125. If a man offend a harmless, pure, and innocent person, the evil falls back upon that fool, like light dust thrown up against the wind. 126. Some people are born again, evildoers go to hell, righteous people go to heaven, those who are free from all worldly desires attain nirvana. 127. Not in the sky, not in the midst of the sea, not if we enter into the clefts of the mountains, is there known a spot in the whole world where a man might be freed from an evil deed. 128. Not in the sky, not in the midst of the sea, not if we enter into the clefts of the mountains, is there known a spot in the whole world where death could not overcome the mortal. Chapter 10. Punishment. 129. All men tremble at punishment, all men fear death. Remember that you are like unto them, and do not kill, nor cause slaughter. 130. All men tremble at punishment, all men love life. Remember that thou art like unto them, and do not kill, nor cause slaughter. 131. He who seeking his own happiness punishes or kills beings who also long for happiness, will not find happiness after death. 132. He who seeking his own happiness does not punish or kill beings who also long for happiness, will find happiness after death. 133. Do not speak harshly to anybody, those who are spoken to will answer thee in the same way. Angry speech is painful, blows for blows will touch thee. 134. If, like a shattered metal plate, gong, thou utter not, then thou hast reached nirvana, contention is not known to thee. 135. As a cowherd with his staff drives his cows into the stable, so do age and death drive the life of men. 136. A fool does not know when he commits his evil deeds, but the wicked man burns by his own deeds, as if burnt by fire. 137. He who inflicts pain on innocent and harmless persons, will soon come to one of these 10 states. 138. He will have cruel suffering, loss, injury of the body, heavy affliction, or loss of mind. 139. Or a misfortune coming from the king, or a fearful accusation, or loss of relations, or destruction of treasures. 140. Or lightning fire will burn his houses, and when his body is destroyed, the fool will go to hell. 141. Not nakedness, not plaited hair, not dirt, not fasting, or lying on the earth, not rubbing with dust, not sitting motionless, can purify a mortal who has not overcome desires. 142. He who, though dressed in fine apparel, exercises tranquility, is quiet, subdued, restrained, chaste, and has ceased to find fault with all other beings, he indeed is a Brahmana, an ascetic, Sramana, a friar, bhikshu. 143. Is there in this world any man so restrained by humility that he does not mind reproof, as a well-trained horse the whip? 144. Like a well-trained horse when touched by the whip, Be ye active and lively, and by faith, by virtue, by energy, by meditation, by discernment of the law you will overcome this great pain, of reproof, perfect in knowledge and in behavior, and never forgetful. 145. Well-makers lead the water, wherever they like, fletchers bend the arrow, carpenters bend a log of wood, good people fashion themselves. Chapter 11. Old Age 146. How is their laughter, how is their joy, as this world is always burning? Why do you not seek a light, ye who are surrounded by darkness? 147. Look at this dressed-up lump, covered with wounds, joined together, sickly, full of many thoughts, which has no strength, no hold. 148. This body is wasted, full of sickness, and frail. This heap of corruption breaks to pieces, life indeed ends in death. 149. Those white bones, like gourds thrown away in the autumn, what pleasure is there in looking at them? 150. After a stronghold has been made of the bones, it is covered with flesh and blood, and there dwell in it old age and death, pride and deceit. 151. The brilliant chariots of kings are destroyed, the body also approaches destruction, but the virtue of good people never approaches destruction, thus do the good say to the good. 152. A man who has learnt little, grows old like an ox, his flesh grows, but his knowledge does not grow. 153. 154. Looking for the maker of this tabernacle, I shall have to run through a course of many births, so long as I do not find him, and painful is birth again and again. But now, maker of the tabernacle, thou hast been seen, thou shalt not make up this tabernacle again. All thy rafters are broken, thy ridgepole is sundered, the mind, approaching. The eternal, Visankara, Nirvana, has attained to the extinction of all desires. 155. Men who have not observed proper discipline, and have not gained treasure in their youth, perish like old herons in a lake without fish. 156. Men who have not observed proper discipline, and have not gained treasure in their youth, lie, like broken boughs, sighing after the past. Chapter 12. Self 157. If a man hold himself dear, let him watch himself carefully. During one at least out of the 3 watches a wise man should be watchful. 158. Let each man direct himself first to what is proper, then let him teach others, thus a wise man will not suffer. 159. If a man make himself as he teaches others to be, then, being himself well subdued, he may subdue others. One's own self is indeed difficult to subdue. 160. Self is the lord of self, who else could be the lord? With self well subdued, a man finds a lord such as few can find. 161. The evil done by oneself, self-begotten, self-bred, crushes the foolish, as a diamond breaks a precious stone. 162. He whose wickedness is very great brings himself down to that state where his enemy wishes him to be, as a creeper does with the tree which it surrounds. 163. Bad deeds, and deeds hurtful to ourselves, are easy to do. What is beneficial and good, that is very difficult to do. 164. The foolish man who scorns the rule of the venerable Arahat, of the elect, Oriya, of the virtuous, and follows false doctrine, he bears fruit to his own destruction, like the fruits of the Kathaka reed. 165. By oneself the evil is done, by oneself one suffers, by oneself evil is left undone, by oneself one is purified. Purity and impurity belong to oneself, no one can purify another. 166. Let no one forget his own duty for the sake of another's, however great. Let a man, after he has discerned his own duty, be always attentive to his duty. Chapter 13. The World 167. Do not follow the evil law. Do not live on in thoughtlessness. Do not follow false doctrine. Be not a friend of the world. 168. Rouse thyself. Do not be idle. Follow the law of virtue. The virtuous rests in bliss in this world and in the next. 169. Follow the law of virtue. Do not follow that of sin. The virtuous rests in bliss in this world and in the next. 170. Look upon the world as a bubble, look upon it as a mirage. The king of death does not see him who thus looks down upon the world. 171. Come, look at this glittering world, like unto a royal chariot. The foolish are immersed in it, but the wise do not touch it. 172. He who formerly was reckless and afterwards became sober, brightens up this world, like the moon when freed from clouds. 173. He whose evil deeds are covered by good deeds, brightens up this world, like the moon when freed from clouds. 174. This world is dark, few only can see here, a few only go to heaven, like birds escaped from the net. 175. The swans go on the path of the sun, they go through the ether by means of their miraculous power. The wise are led out of this world, when they have conquered Mara and his train. 176. If a man has transgressed one law, and speaks lies, and scoffs at another world, there is no evil he will not do. 177. The uncharitable do not go to the world of the gods, fools only do. Not praise liberality. A wise man rejoices in liberality, and through it becomes blessed in the other world. 178. Better than sovereignty over the earth, better than going to heaven, better than lordship over all worlds, is the reward of the first step in holiness. Chapter 14. The Buddha, the Awakened, 179. He whose conquest is not conquered again, into whose conquest no one in this world enters, by what track can you lead him, the awakened, the omniscient, the trackless? 180. He whom no desire with its snares and poisons can lead astray, by what track can you lead him, the awakened, the omniscient, the trackless? 181. Even the gods envy those who are awakened and not forgetful, who are given to meditation, who are wise, and who delight in the repose of retirement from the world. 182. Difficult, to obtain, is the conception of men, difficult is the life of mortals, difficult is the hearing of the true law, difficult is the birth of the awakened, the attainment of Buddhahood. 183. Not to commit any sin, to do good, and to purify one's mind, that is the teaching of all the awakened. 184. The awakened call patience the highest penance, long-suffering the highest nirvana, for he is not an anchorite, pravrajita, who strikes others, he is not an ascetic, sramana, who insults others. 185. Not to blame, not to strike, to live restrained under the law, to be moderate in eating, to sleep and sit alone, and to dwell on the highest thoughts, this is the teaching of the awakened. 186. There is no satisfying lusts, even by a shower of gold pieces. He who knows that lusts have a short taste and cause pain, he is wise. 187. Even in heavenly pleasures he finds no satisfaction. The disciple who is fully awakened delights only in the destruction of all desires. 188. Men, driven by fear, go to many a refuge, to mountains and forests, to groves and sacred trees. 189. But that is not a safe refuge, that is not the best refuge. A man is not delivered from all pains after having gone to that refuge. 190. He who takes refuge with Buddha, the law, and the church, he who, with clear understanding, sees the four holy truths. 191. Videlicet pain, the origin of pain, the destruction of pain, and the eightfold holy way that leads to the quieting of pain. 192. That is the safe refuge, that is the best refuge. Having gone to that refuge, a man is delivered from all pain. 193. A supernatural person, a Buddha, is not easily found, he is not born everywhere. Wherever such a sage is born, that race prospers. 194. Happy is the arising of the awakened, happy is the teaching of the true law, happy is peace in the church, happy is the devotion of those who are at peace. 195. 196. He who pays homage to those who deserve homage, whether the awakened, Buddha, or their disciples, those who have overcome the host of evils, and crossed the flood of sorrow, he who pays homage to such as have found deliverance and know no fear, his merit can never be measured by anybody. Chapter 15. Happiness 197. Let us live happily then, not hating those who hate us. Among men who hate us let us dwell free from hatred. 198. Let us live happily then, free from ailments among the ailing. Among men who are ailing let us dwell free from ailments. 199. Let us live happily then, free from greed among the greedy. Among men who are greedy let us dwell free from greed. 200. Let us live happily then, though we call nothing our own, we shall be like the bright gods, feeding on happiness. 201. Victory breeds hatred, for the conquered is unhappy. He who has given up both victory and defeat, he, the contented, is happy. 202. There is no fire like passion, there is no losing throw like hatred, there is no pain like this body, there is no happiness higher than rest. 203. Hunger is the worst of diseases, the body the greatest of pains. If one knows this truly, that is nirvana, the highest happiness. 204. Health is the greatest of gifts, contentedness the best riches, trust is the best of relationships, nirvana the highest happiness. 205. He who has tasted the sweetness of solitude and tranquility, is free from fear and free from sin, while he tastes the sweetness of drinking in the law. 206. The sight of the elect, Arya, is good, to live with them is always happiness. If a man does not see fools, he will be truly happy. 207. He who walks in the company of fools suffers a long way. Company with fools, as with an enemy, is always painful. Company with the wise is pleasure, like meeting with kinsfolk. 208. Therefore, one ought to follow the wise, the intelligent, the learned, the much enduring, the dutiful, the elect. One ought to follow a good and wise man, as the moon follows the path of the stars. Chapter 16. Pleasure 209. He who gives himself to vanity, and does not give himself to meditation, forgetting the real aim of life, and grasping at pleasure, will in time envy him who has exerted himself in meditation. 210. Let no man ever look for what is pleasant, or what is unpleasant. Not to see what is pleasant is pain, and it is pain to see what is unpleasant. 211. Let, therefore, no man love anything, loss of the beloved is evil. Those who love nothing and hate nothing, have no fetters. 212. From pleasure comes grief, from pleasure comes fear. He who is free from pleasure knows neither grief nor fear. 213. From affection comes grief, from affection comes fear. He who is free from affection knows neither grief nor fear. 214. From lust comes grief, from lust comes fear. He who is free from lust knows neither grief nor fear. 215. From love comes grief, from love comes fear. He who is free from love knows neither grief nor fear. 216. From greed comes grief, from greed comes fear. He who is free from greed knows neither grief nor fear. 2:17. He who possesses virtue and intelligence, who is just, speaks the truth, and does what is his own business, him the world will hold dear. 2:18. He in whom a desire for the ineffable, nirvana, has sprung up, who is satisfied in his mind, and whose thoughts are not bewildered by love, he is called Urdhvamsrotas, carried upwards by the stream. 2:19. Kinsmen, friends, and lovers salute a man who has been long away, and returns safe from afar. 2:20. In like manner his good works receive him who has done good, and has gone from this world to the other, as kinsmen receive a friend on his return. Chapter 17. Anger 221. Let a man leave anger, let him forsake pride, let him overcome all bondage. No sufferings befall the man who is not attached to name and form, and who calls nothing his own. 2:22. He who holds back rising anger like a rolling chariot, him I call a real driver, other people are but holding the reins. 2:23. Let a man overcome anger by love, let him overcome evil by good, let him overcome the greedy by liberality, the liar by truth. 2:24. Speak the truth, do not yield to anger, give, if thou art asked for little, by these 3 steps thou wilt go near the gods. 2:25. The sages who injure nobody, and who always control their body, they will go to the unchangeable place, nirvana, where, if they have gone, they will suffer no more. 2:26. Those who are ever watchful, who study day and night, and who strive after nirvana, their passions will come to an end. 2:27. This is an old saying, O Achela, this is not only of today. They blame him who sits silent, they blame him who speaks much, they also blame him who says little. There is no one on earth who is not blamed. 228. There never was, there never will be, nor is there now, a man who is always blamed, or a man who is always praised. 229, 230. But he whom those who discriminate praise continually day after day, as without blemish, wise, rich in knowledge and virtue, who would dare to blame him, like a coin made of gold from the Gambu river? Even the gods praise him, he is praised even by Brahmin. 231. Beware of bodily anger, and control thy body. Leave the sins of the body, and with thy body practice virtue. 232. Beware of the anger of the tongue, and control thy tongue. Leave the sins of the tongue, and practice virtue with thy tongue. 233. Beware of the anger of the mind, and control thy mind. Leave the sins of the mind, and practice virtue with thy mind. 234. The wise who control their body, who control their tongue, the wise who control their mind, are indeed well controlled. Chapter 18. Impurity 235. Thou art now like a sere leaf, the messengers of death, Yama, have come near to thee, thou standest at the door of thy departure, and thou hast no provision for thy journey. 236. Make thyself an island, work hard, be wise. When thy impurities are blown away, and thou art free from guilt, thou wilt enter into the heavenly world of the elect, Oriya. 237. Thy life has come to an end, thou art come near to death, Yama, there is no resting place for thee on the road, and thou hast no provision for thy journey. 238. Make thyself an island, work hard, be wise. When thy impurities are blown away, and thou art free from guilt, thou wilt not enter again into birth and decay. 239. Let a wise man blow off the impurities of his self, as a smith blows off the impurities of silver one by one, little by little, and from time to time. 240. As the impurity which springs from the iron, when it springs from it, destroys it. Thus do a transgressor's own works lead him to the evil path. 241. The taint of prayers is non-repetition, the taint of houses, non-repair, the taint of the body is sloth, the taint of a watchman, thoughtlessness. 242. Bad conduct is the taint of woman, greediness the taint of a benefactor. Tainted are all evil ways in this world and in the next. 243. But there is a taint worse than all taints, ignorance is the greatest taint. O mendicants! Throw off that taint, and become taintless. 244. Life is easy to live for a man who is without shame, a crow hero, a mischief maker, an insulting, bold, and wretched fellow. 245. But life is hard to live for a modest man, who always looks for what is pure, who is disinterested, quiet, spotless, and intelligent. 246. He who destroys life, who speaks untruth, who in this world takes what is not given him, who goes to another man's wife. 247. And the man who gives himself to drinking intoxicating liquors, he, even in this world, digs up his own root. 248. O man, know this, that the unrestrained are in a bad state. Take care that greediness and vice do not bring thee to grief for a long time. 249. The world gives according to their faith or according to their pleasure. If a man frets about the food and the drink given to others, he will find no rest either by day or by night. 250. He in whom that feeling is destroyed, and taken out with the very root, finds rest by day and by night. 251. There is no fire like passion, there is no shark like hatred, there is no snare like folly, there is no torrent like greed. 252. The fault of others is easily perceived, but that of oneself is difficult to perceive. A man winnows his neighbor's faults like chaff, but his own fault he hides, as a cheat hides the bad dye from the